Thanks for keeping it right here on ABC4 Utah News at 4. I'm Nadia Crow.
And I'm Brian Carlson.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but right behind me, there's a live band. There's quite the party going on here at Snow College. And anywhere you are on campus, you'll sit right in the middle of history. What goes through your mind? I mean, we just watched this rescue. It looks like everything's going to be okay. And then that building just comes crashing down. These court documents say that Chad Binion grabbed the arm of his then ex-wife and threw her down on a couch, leaving a bruise. He faces 1 count of assault and 5 counts of domestic violence in the presence of a child because their 5 children were home at the time. This is Lambert Park and the city of Alpine, just full of biking and walking trails, and this trail right here ends abruptly. There's a private property, no trespassing sign. Well, we are following breaking news out of Primary Children's Hospital in Salt Lake City. And that's where we're being told that doctors are evaluating a child who could possibly have the Ebola virus. Now, we are waiting on a press conference that's about to happen. There will be 3 doctors who are right there on your screen. You can see them. They will talk about this virus as well as emergency preparedness. So let's listen in.
Now at 4, same-sex marriage now legal in Utah. The Supreme Court makes a historic decision not to hear the state's appeal. We'll share its immediate impact on thousands of Utah families.
You're watching ABC4 Utah News at 4. I'm Brian Carlson.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Nadia Crow. The Supreme Court shocked the nation with a historic decision today. The judicial branch chose not to review any cases banning same-sex marriage, and that means gay marriage is once again legal in Utah. Last December, some of Utah's same-sex couples rushed to get married after the 10th Circuit Court called Utah's Amendment 3 unconstitutional. The amendment defined marriage as an institution only between a man and a woman. After that decision, the state appealed, claiming Amendment 3 was voted in by the majority of Utahns. However, the Supreme Court's decision not to review the case, same-sex marriage is once again legal. Following the big announcement, some of the plaintiffs who challenged Utah's ban celebrated. Good for Utah's Felicia Martinez has their reaction.
It's been a day.
Thank you, Marcos. Well, Governor Gary Herbert gave instructions to county officials to recognize same-sex marriages shortly after the Supreme Court's decision today.
Chief Political Correspondent Glenn Mills was there as the governor and Utah Attorney General Sean Reyes both.
And as state leaders react to the Supreme Court's decision, Utahns are sounding off both for and against same-sex marriage. So here's a couple of comments we found on our Facebook page when asked about the Supreme Court's decision. Tracy Whitmire was overjoyed. She says, yeah, celebration. How will Utah fight this now? Live and let live, people. And more comments continue to pour in. Join the conversation by telling us what you think about the Supreme Court's decision today to not hear Utah's appeal. Go to Facebook.com/ABC4 Utah or find us on Twitter @GoodForUtah.
Now, despite your views on same-sex marriage, it's hard to argue with our fall weather today. Here's a live look through our Hoops Vision Tower cam out there. As you can see, the sun is shining on downtown Salt Lake City. And the temperatures, they're pretty comfortable too. So it looks like a great fall day out there.
So how long can we expect this gorgeous weather? There's got to be a storm on its way, right? The storms always come and ruin it.
Something's got to disrupt that, right?
Chief Meteorologist Dan Pope joins us now with the answer. So can we hold on to this good weather for a little while longer?
Yes, we can, especially here in northern Utah, the southern part of the state.
There's only one answer, right? Are you just about to say that? There's only one thing that we want to hear.
Well, I was going to say, there's your party crasher.
Yeah,
right?
Dan.
Now, a highly contagious virus is also crashing the party for a lot of children in hospitals. They're being forced to get treatment across the country.
Well, one of those beds is now empty after the sudden death of a young boy. The latest on the enterovirus, its spread, and how you can combat it. That's coming up.
A frightening and highly contagious respiratory virus is quickly crossing from state to state.
Well, now the enterovirus has claimed another victim, a preschool-aged boy in New Jersey. ABC's Emmett Miller has the latest.
The virus is called...
And from preventing a serious illness to preventing a house fire. That's right, it's Fire Prevention Week. Okay, so you've heard of the saying, where there's heat, there's fire. But is that the case when it comes to love? Okay, this next story just made me laugh. Coming up, the superstar bringing the heat. See the man Katy Perry has the hots for after she expressed her love on live TV. That's next.
There's a frenzy today over football and pop singer Katy Perry. Over the weekend, the superstar made an interesting appearance on ESPN.
Okay, but she didn't talk a whole lot about music. Instead, she declared her love for a top team star quarterback. ABC's Don Harris shows us where Cupid's arrow landed.
Who can blame him?
No, it's apparently a family affair. The brother can't have her. He's going to step in.
Yeah, I think there'd be a lot of people who like to be in Trevor Knight's position.
Yeah, he's got options. He's got options. All right, from Katy Perry's sweet display of love and affection to sweets of a different kind.
Yeah, it's candy season.
Good afternoon, and thanks for watching ABC4 Utah News at 4 o'clock. I'm Nadia Crow. This is the third stop on our Good for Utah road tour. We're on the campus of Snow College in Ephraim, Utah. Now, we're going to tell you all about this campus, its history, hear from the school's president and some of its students, and we'll tell you a whole bunch more that's coming up. Now, my co-anchor, Brian Carlson, he's out on assignment getting ready for our next stop on our Good for Utah road tour. So for right now, let's send things back to our ABC4 Utah studios with Kim and Don.
All right, thanks, Nadia, and good evening. I'm Kim Fisher. Now let's head back out to Nadia Crow, who's live in Ephraim as part of our Good for Utah road tour. Nadia?
Well, Kim and Don, we are live here on the campus of Snow College and Ephraim, Utah. Did you know that this is ranked one of the best two-year colleges in the nation? Well, they have small class sizes, a small town atmosphere, but big-time opportunities for its staff and students. Well, I'm not the only one out here enjoying all the fun and learning all about Snow College. Our chief meteorologist, Dan Pope, is also here. He joins us now with a look at our first forecast. Hey, Dan. Well, thank you, Dan. I don't know if you guys can tell, but right behind me, there's a live band. There's quite the party going on here at Snow College. And anywhere you are on campus, you'll sit right in the middle of history. Now, this college was founded back in 1888. Good for Utah's Emily Clark takes us on a tour with the school's president and shows us all about the history of the school. Thank you, Emily. Well, you just heard all about Snow College's history, but in just a few minutes, you're going to hear about Snow College's presence. That's right, a trio of Badgers. We'll talk to those students when we come back. Welcome back. We are broadcasting live on our Good for Utah road tour. This is the third stop on our tour right here at Snow College in Ephraim, Utah. Now, we've been telling you about all of the things that this school has to offer, but who better to talk to and who knows what the school has to offer better than three students here. We've got three Badgers with us, Chris, Brooklyn, and Lame. Hey, guys, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, what a beautiful day on your beautiful campus. Now, I know that, Chris, this is your second year here at Snow College. 2 years ago when you said, okay, I'm going off to college. I've got to pick from one of the many great schools in the state of Utah. Why did you just say that Snow College was a school for you?
Well, it was a couple of things. One thing was that I got an academic scholarship to come here, and so it was just a really smart idea to come here. And it was where my friends were going, and I knew that, you know, coming to a two-year school would be less expensive than going to a four-year school.
Absolutely. And Brooklyn, this is your first year, your first semester
yes, ma'am.
here at the college. What do you think, how has your experience been so far?
It's been really awesome. I feel like I know everybody on campus. Everybody's super friendly. You can say hi to just about everybody. Your professors know you by name, which is really cool. And I've had some professors just help me a ton. And it's just really hands-on, and I absolutely love it.
Well, we've heard a lot about the small campus, the small class sizes, that one-on-one interaction you get with your teachers, but we know that there are a lot of athletics going on here on college as well. Lame, you're on the football team. Tell us about kind of the athletic program and what you think you're being offered here.
You know, the athletic program here, as far as the junior college level goes, it's one of the best. And I think that's one of Snow's strengths, is they have a strong academic program as well as a strong athletic program. And it kind of opens up a whole new future for anyone who decides to come play, you know, sports here or go here as a student. And so it kind of has both dynamics that are good for anyone.
Yeah, you've got that good balance between academics and athletics. Chris, Brooklyn, Lame, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Well, we have so much more to talk about here from the campus of Snow College on our Good for Utah road tour. We'll be right back after the break. Thanks for staying with us right here on ABC4 Utah News at 4 o'clock. I'm Nadia Crow, and we are live on our Good for Utah road tour from the campus of Snow College and Ephraim, Utah. You know, it's been a great day. We talked a lot about the college. We want to introduce you to our partners for our road tour. It's Envision Utah. The nonprofit works with public and private entities to make Utah a better place and to really work on the state's future. We're joined now by the planning director, Christina Ostema. Thanks for joining us now.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Well, talk to us a little bit about Envision Utah, what you guys do for the state.
Sure. Well, the state is looking at another 2.5 million residents by 2050, and the governor has asked us to facilitate a public conversation to envision what that future could be like.
So we're talking about so many more people coming into Utah. What are some of those challenges we may face when it comes to jobs and other opportunities?
Sure. Yeah, and you can go to envisionutah.org to learn all about these, to play a game, to pledge to share your voice. So please do that. And in regard to jobs, when we look at Ephraim, for example, I hear that either we're raising turkeys or alfalfa or students here. So huge pieces of the rural economy, as are mining and recreation and so many other things as the state matter.
And you guys are working with the governor to get this initiative out, and you really want to have other people weigh in, people across the state to weigh in.
Absolutely. Our goal is to have at least 50,000 Utah residents involved, and it's really a once-in-a-generation opportunity. Not every state asks their residents to participate in this way, but I think this is the Utah way.
What do you want people to say? I mean, it sounds like they can kind of bring out whatever opinion or idea they have.
We want to know what's on people's minds. We have a game or a web app that they can go and learn about lots of the issues and weigh in on their choices.
Now, I see you guys out a lot. We partner up to do a lot of different community outreach activities. Where can people find you out and about or find you online?
Sure. Go to envisionutah.org, and we maintain a calendar of where we are when, and you can always drop us a line. We're all hooked up via email there.
So are you asking for the younger generation to really weigh in as well, since they'll be here for that big influx of population?
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to be on tour with you at these schools. These guys will be in their 50s by the time 2050 rolls around, and we need a great place for them, and we want to know what that means to them.
2050, I mean, it's hard to think that far into the future, but it sounds like we have to start planning for that now.
Yeah. I think the quality of life that we enjoy today was not an accident. It was laid by great planners and people thinking about and caring about us and making the proactive decisions decades early so that the Utah we enjoy today exists.
Awesome. Well, we've got to be a part of the future. We'll put a link to that on our website at goodforutah.com. But for now, we're going to send things back to our ABC4 Utah studios with Kim and Don.
All right, Nadia, thank you very much.
Well, you can see that Dan and all the students over there are having a great time. This is a great place to be, but it's also a great place to learn. Now, we're specifically talking about STEM education, science and math. We have two professors here who know all about it. We're joined now by Heidi Johnson and Brian Newbold. Thank you so much both for being here today.
Good to be here.
Well, when we talk about STEM education, we keep hearing that this is the future. This is where the nation and really the world is going. Why is this so important?
Well, flat out, you go to college to get a job and to make some money. And STEM is some of the highest paying careers when you get done. Engineering occupies 6 or 7 of the top 10 positions when you graduate. And it's what our country needs. We need to be able to go for it and solve problems, make the country better. And STEM is a strength that we have in the country in terms of our education and what we can do.
And there you have that strength right here at Snow College. If students say, okay, I want to be a Badger, I want to come to Snow College, they come here, what kind of education will they be able to get when it comes to science, technology, math, and engineering here?
We have a really great start for our students to make here. We're able to transfer our students to other institutions where they're able to finish and become medical doctors, engineers, physical therapists, pharmacists. They're able to become occupational therapists, veterinarians, and they transfer into the natural resources programs. And they come back to us and they're reporting that they feel that they're more prepared than their fellow students that have started at other institutions.
Yeah, it seems like they come here, they get that hands-on experience right away. They don't have to wait like maybe at a four-year school. Now, a little birdie, the buzz on campus is that you guys are getting funding potentially for a new science building. So we're just adding on to what you already have if you get that new building.
We are. We're excited about it. We're hoping to be funded by the legislature to get a new science building. And not just for the science faculty and the students, but we also hope that the new science center is an opportunity to reach out to elementary, junior high, et cetera, and make this the science hub.
Exactly.
Essentially, Utah, and inspire the young kids that science and engineering, mathematics is an opportunity for them in their future.
Absolutely. Well, Brian Newbold, and Heidi Johnson, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Good.
And we'll have more news and weather right after the break. We've been telling you all about our Good for Utah Road Tour right here at Snow College and Ephraim, Utah. We have so much more coming up on ABC4 Utah News at 5.